Consider the Catholic Church and its problems with sex. Now, the line that always came from the Byzantine Church that I learned growing up from my dad the Patriarch Constantine is that so the way it works in the Byzantine Church is you are allowed to be married when you become ordained, if that's the term, as a priest, or made into a priest, or registered, or qualified, or you pass the test. You make the team, so to speak. When you make the priest team, you know, varsity priesthood or whatever. I don't know if it's varsity. I mean, I suppose that the varsity team is sort of like the whatchamacallits, the Cardinals. I mean, that would be kind of like the A squad or something. And I actually don't know. I think that there's several, I don't know how the rankings go in the Greek church, but there's a number of what's called metropolitans, and everything, all roads lead to Constantinople. Of course, it's called Istanbul now, but I suppose on the grounds of the headquarters of the Byzantine Church, they still call it Constantinople because it's even old New York was once New Amsterdam. Why they change it, I can't say. Maybe they liked it better that way. Istanbul, not Constantinople. Now it's Istanbul, not Constantinople. Da 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 da. The Turks. That's nobody's business but the Turks. The Turks. What's another good one? What are we talking about now? Sex? The Christian church? Okay, so Byzantine men, they can get, I mean, the Orthodox Greek men, they can be married and then they can become priests. But then if you're not married and you become a priest, then you're kind of shit out of luck. And then I guess you have to fuck the other priests, or the nuns suck your dick, or I don't know how it works. But so classically and traditionally, all of this religious energy in the Christian religion has been used for otherworldly purposes. So it depends on an otherworldly metaphysics. So let's just assume that the Nietzschean critique stands. All right, otherworldly, like what? The sex is really good after you die? No. And people get the order of operations backwards, don't they? I mean, it's like, put this theology aside for a second. It's just, it baffles my mind. It baffles my mind. Boggles my mind. And it baffles my mind. And it befuddles my mind, too. It befuddles it. It befuddles my mind. That all of these chains just keep getting tangled up. Why do they do that? I mean, look, I'm wearing all these crosses. Doesn't God know that I don't want these to get tangled up? Like, am I not praying hard enough? You know? It's like one of my very first prayers that I do. Please, God, don't tangle all of your beautiful Verdugo posts. Is that what they're called? Verdugo posts? They're like, what are they? Stakes? Like burn at the stake. I guess you could burn somebody at the stake. I mean, you could burn somebody at the crucifix. That would have been pretty good. Why didn't they burn people at the crucifix? They probably did. You know, why did they call it burn at the stake? I bet plenty of like witch trial people got burned at the crucifix, didn't they? Well, yeah, these things seem to get, you know, is Mr. T around? Because that's the thing, is that forget all those logicians that I'm talking about meeting and everything, that I have real issues to take up with logicians. I mean, fuck that. I need to really understand how Mr. T does his chains, you know? Because, first of all, this is very noisy, and it goes clink, clink. And I just don't understand how this is to be made, like, unobtrusive yet. Maybe it's supposed to be obtrusive. It's supposed to be so obtrusive, and you're supposed to get distracted from the fact that I'm completely and utterly full of shit. And there's no good reason to be listening to me other than I'm entertaining to look at, maybe, if you're bored. So, have we solved the sex and religion problem yet? I mean, I don't think we're making any headway on it. It's a fucking problem. I mean, how many people do you know that are happy with their sex life? The reason I am just going absolutely bouncing off the walls about this is the following. I will become a broken record. Remember what I was saying about the offset. What does this cost me? Well, it's cost me 10 years of my life. Okay? I've had, you know, half a ton of failed relationships that bear no resemblance to one another. I've been through 17 years of psychoanalysis, and I have 2 degrees in philosophies in a long and arduous quest for self-knowledge. I have experimented with my sex life a great deal, and I've now come to a place. I've stabilized for about 10 years. This is nothing that I've just discovered last week. Oh yeah, I found the secret to having a good sex life. No, I just simply decided to embark on a long, arduous experimental process. And if you do that, it goes somewhere. People do it all the time with their career and so on. I guess just people don't really do it with their relationship, their private lives. You know? People get stuck in like really shit relationships and they don't have a sex life, and then they have to try to strategize some kind of secret sex life. But then the same presuppositions go into that relationship, the secret clandestine relationship, the same theological psychoanalytic presuppositions go into that. You just redo the hamster wheel all over again. You stay miserable because you're looking for sex as though you're trying to materialize some ideal or goal. It's the wrong way around. No, you simply decide that before you do anything else, you get good at sex. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter how big your dick is. It doesn't matter how smooth you are, how well you dress. None of this makes a good goddamn bit of difference if you're just testing 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 or 100 experiences. No. You're not getting anywhere until you've actually got 1,000 experiences, maybe. I don't mean sexual conquests, no. I mean experiences, literally time-stamped marks that you have thought about, that you've focused on, that you've analyzed, that you've meditated on. time-stamped events related to your love life that represent knowledge, and it represents your own learning about your own self. None of that comes from career ascent. None of that does from doing good deeds or works. Having God pat you on the back, or karma pat you on the back, or your neighbors or your enemies pat you on the back, or the Nobel Prize pat you on the back. None of it will get you good sex. All that happens is if you establish sexual health, it increases your chances of doing any other non-sexual things better. You can actually concentrate on your work if you're getting laid properly. And masturbation does not count. Pornography does not count. Anything short of full coitus with another human does not count. Unless, of course, you've got reasons that, look, I'm talking about real encounters with humans. Real living encounters with humans. I mean, we hear this 100 or 1,000 different ways these days. Real living flesh and blood. Come on, people. Wake the fuck up from your fucking COVID dogmatic slumbers. Your COVID slumbers. Come on. Wake up. Get your dicks out. Spread your legs. Come on, let's fuck. Let's remember how to fuck. Come on. We're not zombies. Did you notice that 3/4 of all movies are zombie movies? Because what? It's our greatest fear to become zombie, but we've become zombies, right? What? Because all we do is watch zombie movies? If there's one thing that I guess I'm expounding, really I'm becoming proselytizing, get laid. I mean, look, that's not getting laid. No. Maybe you cannot get laid. Okay? I mean, there's a scene which is quite nice, and it wasn't easy or fun. It's in Oliver Stone's Born on the 4th of July, and Ron Kovic became paraplegic. That's all true story. That's just happened right here in Massapequa. He got back from Vietnam, but his legs were paralyzed. And there's a really gnarly scene where he's in Mexico and he gets together with a super hot lady, and she's been around the block and whatever, she wants to fuck, and he has this kind of meltdown about the fact that his dick is non-functional, and I think she rubs her crotch in his face or something, or she tries to. And he's really losing his composure, and he's really kind of becomes just a kind of small, kind of a shuddering blob. And it's interesting kind of meltdown, because plenty of men, we have meltdowns in the bedroom. Yeah. Either you come too fast, or there ain't no erection happening, or the erection only lasts 60 seconds, or the erection only gets 30% there, or I don't know, a million things can happen, right? I mean, we're talking about bodily functions, holy smokes, people. We don't sweat these things when we go to the doctor, right? My doctor, Peter Cherub, rammed a fucking baseball bat up my ass, and it was 9:30 on a Tuesday morning on the Upper West Side. I mean, what if that had been I don't know, who am I supposed to say, Mengele, right? Oh, Joseph Mengele shoved a baseball bat up my ass. Well, then you could split your consciousness, you could permanently split your consciousness off, whatever the fuck that means. I mean, we don't even really know what that means. We've heard a heck of a lot of descriptions of it. I don't know. I've never met somebody with split consciousness. But I think the point is, who knows what would happen. The point is that if it was under different circumstances of really severe kind of dominance and submission, and I had been being imprisoned like in a Tarantino movie or something, and then somebody shoves a baseball bat up my ass. Yeah. It wouldn't strike me that I'd be sitting here, going on about it as though it were merely a doctor's appointment, but yet, our sexual experiences are kind of more analogous to the Mengele encounter than the Peter Cherub encounter. Aren't they? I mean, I don't know about y'all. I haven't had sex with most of you. But, I mean, as far as I can tell, like, sex is like some kind of ritual sacrifice. I mean, it's fucking gnarly. It is fucking gnarly, right? I mean, no matter which way, I mean, if you really want to get into it and get off, right? And get on the same page with the other person, yeah, I mean, shit goes haywire. I mean, you may very well, I mean, how many steps are you away from, slaughtering an animal and drinking its blood? I don't know. Is there any reason to do that? I seriously doubt it. You want to slaughter an animal and drink its blood? That's how bored you are? Like, I don't know. There's some pretty fucking good music out there I can recommend to you if you're that bored. Like, life is pretty interesting without having to slaughter living beings and, like, generate energy from the Gelassenheitment of their soul that you did because you murdered them. And this is Epstein shit. Or rather, I mean, it's just going back into my Annika Lucas stuff because that fucked me up. Annika Lucas, what the fuck, people? Somebody either discredit her or explain to me why this is not on the evening news every night.